Milan's home form remains as impressive as it did back in October. In recent weeks, both Sampdoria and Fiorentina have been swept aside at the San Siro. However, that traumatic cup result leaves Milan without a win in their last 3 domestic fixtures away from home. And it could have been a hat-trick of defeats, but for the form of their goalkeeper, Sebastiano Rossi, the penalty kick. Milan will be without Rossi today, as they were in midweek. He was injured in Milan's European Cup tie at Porto, and this afternoon, 19-year-old Carlo Cudicini will again provide their last line of defence. Young Cudicini has a lot to live up to. His father, Fabio, is a goalkeeping legend, having starred for Milan and Roma during the 60s. Cudicini Jr. showed flashes of an inherited talent against Rome, but as we've seen, he was left hopelessly exposed by his more experienced colleagues at the crucial moments of the game. So will the youngster's confidence have been shaken by the experience? Lazio aim to find out.
And everyone, like they said, people were never thinking Milan were never going to get beat, you know. They've won every game they played in, and Roma done them. And now it's not just pressure to beat Milan, but it's pressure also to beat them because of Roma winning them, you know, because the fans are going to be talking about it. They were this morning, you know, they're saying, oh, Roma beat them, right? We've got to beat them, you know. So the pressure's starting already, you know.
However, the Roman side aren't without their own problems at the back. Goalkeeper Fernando Orsi is continuing to make the kind of mistakes which have given Dino Zoff nightmares. Lazio will also be missing 2 key defenders today. Both Luca Lusardi and Luigi Corino are suspended. And up front, Beppe Signori is suffering from a mini drought. Averaging a goal a game at the halfway stage, he scored just twice in the last 5 games, and one of those was a penalty. They'll also be without the suspended Karl-Heinz Riedler, whose 2 goals at Genoa a fortnight ago were the telling factor in a steely Lazio performance, coming back from 2 down to snatch a late victory. But last week they slumped disappointingly, going down 2-1 at Parma. So only goal difference is keeping Lazio in the European placings, and a victory over the runaway leaders this afternoon would be invaluable. But to beat Milan, Lazio must buck the historical trend. And given the home side's selection problems, the weight of expectation falls on a man returning from suspension, and, as we all know, has been rarely out of the spotlight in the last few weeks, Paul Gascoigne. Questions have been raised about his conduct off the field.
But if I ever offended anyone by the little gesture of a joke and burp, I do apologise, and I honestly say it will never happen again.
There have been doubts about his fitness.
But this week I have worked hard. I've been watching what I have been eating. Just never eat fruit. I have been eating all the fruit stuff, and especially the drinking. I've cut down on I've been making sure I drink the right stuff. It's really good that I keep to the certain stuff, you know. Like, the boss has told us to keep off the pasta, so I've been keeping off the pasta. Just, you know, I never eat as much pasta now. I just eat about 4 plates of it. He said it was, you know, keep off the ice cream. But, you know, how can I keep off the ice cream?
And 2 weeks ago, an ill-timed outburst on the field threw his future into doubt once again.
The thing is, well, if you see the incident there, I don't think it was harsh as it looked. I think it was unfortunate, or fortunate to get sent off. I didn't really make contact with the guys, especially what people were saying. You know, the old Gascoigne's future in doubt again. I think I haven't done too bad considering what people expect of me, red card every week.
This afternoon, all at Lazio will be hoping to see the real Gascoigne, the footballing genius. Gazza has a point to prove to Milan. England's most talented performer was little more than a spectator at the San Siro in October. And as he's proved before, he's capable of lifting his game to the big occasion.
Gascoigne, yes, he's got it! His first goal for Lazio comes 3 minutes from the end of the Rome derby. The saviour has saved Lazio.
I think that it was a miracle that this year he's playing, because after the injury he had, and I think what he's doing is more than I expected him to do. I think that next year you're going to see the real Gascoigne, the player that can make the difference as far as the team is concerned.
So a mouth-watering contest in prospect. Can Lazio finally end Milan's incredible run in Serie A? Find out after the break.
Brackley, and if there was one match that England's controversial star Paul Gascoigne will have marked down as the one not to miss in his debut season in Italy, then this surely is it. Much relief then for Gazza that his recent sending off warranted only a one-match ban, which leaves him free to face the leaders and reigning champions AC Milan. The Olympic Stadium in Rome, one of the world's most impressive sporting arenas, an absolute cauldron today of noise, pageantry, excitement and expectations. 70,000 paying over £1 million in gate receipts. Lazio, hopefully inspired by Gazza's mercurial skills, believe they can succeed today, where 57 teams have previously failed. That's the length now then of Milan's extraordinary unbeaten league run, stretching back almost 2 years. But in this very stadium then, just 4 nights ago, Milan revealed they're not invincible. The 2-0 win by Lazio's great rivals Roma in the Italian Cup semi-finals has strengthened Lazio's conviction that Milan's fantastic run can end today. Well, Gazza's inclusion was guaranteed as the German striker Karl-Heinz Rieder is suspended. Also banned is defender Luzzari, so Sklosa comes into midfield with Bacci taking over the marker's role at the back. Thomas Stoll and Aron Winter are the 2 other foreigners at the side. The man Milan will fear most, of course, Signori. 19 goals in the league this season, and he wears, as usual, the number 11 shirt. Well, Milan's defence for having such a large and hugely expensive squad this season was that they couldn't afford the risk of too many injuries spoiling their assault on domestic and European titles. All justified, it would seem, by the extent of their current injury list. Among those missing today, the Dutch trio, sadly, Gullit, Rijkaard and of course Van Basten, who's still out. Papan and Boban are the only 2 foreigners on duty. And there's also a late change in goal. Young Carlo Cudicini, the number 3 at the club, had been expected to come in for Rossi, who's been on the casualty list along with Antonioli, but they've decided to patch up Rossi's damaged shoulder and throw him out in the fray. Obviously worried, I would think, about Cudicini's inexperience. Giuseppe Signori, who's been a thorn in the side of so many sides this season, he's been in devastating form, although going through, by his standards, a slightly lean spell of late in terms of goal scoring. And there, Aron Winter, what a season he's having. His first since his move to the club from Ajax. So rarely do Milan have an off day that when they do, well, the headlines are major ones. And Milan's defeat by Roma in midweek was their first setback then for nearly a year. And of course, there's even more incentive for Lazio to win today. Anything Roma can do, they must try to emulate. As Gazza puts it, we just have to get a result or we'll be lynched. So Lazio then kicking off and attacking the goal to our left. Lazio in the light blue shirts. Milan, of course, in their famous red and black. And alongside me in the commentary positions today, the former Juventus star, now manager, of course, of Celtic up in Scotland, Liam Brady. So, Liam, a match I'm sure you're looking forward to immensely.
Yes, it should be a splendid game. Pressure's on Lazio, especially after Rome winning during the week, to do something against Milan. But I think Milan will want to prove that that defeat during the week was just a one-off.
Here's Signori, who's bound to be a marked man. Crivero, the sweeper on the Lazio side. Off goes Fuser. It's Baresi who's come across. Didn't get the challenge in, though. Signori fires it wide. So an early opportunity there for Lazio. And Signori got free of the marking.
Yes, good build-up down the right from Lazio and a good cross from Fuser. I think he just caught it with the outside of his left boot, Signori, and just miscued it.
The 2 highest scoring sides in Serie A in conflict today. Lazio with 43, Milan 51. In contrast, though, while Milan have conceded only 17, Lazio, they've leaked 33. The 100th league meeting between the 2 clubs on this sunny afternoon in Rome. And the last meeting back in October was an absolute corker, 5-3 to Milan. Probably the best game that we've featured on Channel 4 this season. Let's hope today is just as good. Here's Baresi. Now then to Costa Curta. Gambaro. Gambaro, who's in for the injured Tassotti. Don't make too many changes at the back, Milan. It's normally enforced ones through injury, and that's the case today. The experienced figure of Mauro Tassotti missing. Albertini's pass. Massaro. Ranio, though, was dispossessed. And it'll be a free kick to Lazio for the foul on Gaza. So much resting on his shoulders today. Dino Zoff saying that he's the man who could swing it Lazio's way. He has been inconsistent, I know, said Zoff, but when he's on form, he's the man who can turn it for us. Who's there? Losing out, though, to Boban. Zvani Boban, the Croatian. Savicevic is out through injury today. That's Pagnotti there, the president of Lazio. Very influential man in Italian football circles. Gambaro now. Papin. I have been taught that Papin might be rested today in readiness for the next European Cup tie with Porto in the week. But Capello, the coach of Milan, had second thoughts when he lost Savicevic, the most recent of the casualties in the Milan squad. Vinter. Here's Gascoigne. Right for Signori to chase. So much smoke in the stadium. Hard to pick the players out at the moment. Sure it'll lift soon, though. Here's Signori now. Dole had made the run ahead of him. This is Dole. Faced by Costa Curta. And look how well those Milan players had got back. It was Baresi who was covering. Maldini now. Signori will be the one outright striker in the Lazio side, with Dole lurking just behind him. Albertini. Gambaro. Boban. Crivero. Elegant player, Crivero. We're seeing really the two most highly rated sweepers in Italian football today, and Crivero and of course Baresi at the other end for Milan. Dino Zoff, legendary figure in Italian football, the most capped Italian player of all time. 112 appearances in goal for his country. How do you think the game's settling down, Liam?
Well, I think Lazio have set their stall out with so many men in midfield. They have Gascoigne, even Dole coming back from a forward position to play in midfield, and Signori operating on his own up front. And really it's going to be up to Gascoigne and Dole to open up the Milan defence with through passes for the pace of Signori.
Here's Maldini. Now then to Baresi. Time here for Bacci, wearing the number 2 shirt for Lazio. Now Gascoigne. Fabulous atmosphere in the stadium. Gascoigne. Good skill shown by Gaza, and then a breakdown in communications.
It's very much a game of cat and mouse, Peter. Both sides just feeling themselves really into the game without committing too many men forward at this stage.
Gambaro. Here's Costa Curta. Sweeping pass to Maldini. Now Baresi. All three of them, of course, regulars in the Italian national team. Although Baresi missed the last game through suspension after his sending off against Malta. Massaro now taking the throw. Lentini, whose form has dipped a little bit in recent weeks. He was left out by Milan for the cup tie midweek, although he did come on as a substitute. And he was also dropped by the Italian national team. The world's most expensive player, Lentini, £13 million. Forward by Sclosa. Dole and Signori. Here's Signori now. Well read by Gascoigne. He's on the march now. Gascoigne going all the way. And the save made by Rossi, who was in the right place. But a really positive run then by Paul Gascoigne.
Yes, it was a good run. It wasn't such a good shot, Peter, and Rossi didn't have too much difficulty dealing with it. But I think that's what Lazio need to do, is get Gascoigne and get Dole committed to going forward.
Signori, the top scorer in the Italian league, along with Balbo of Udinese. Gas has only managed 2 so far. One of those that header we saw at the start of the programme in the Rome derby. And that marvellous goal too when he drifted past defenders for his other strike. It's Pescara. Boban's pass to Gambaro. It's not a bad ball in either. Almost finding Lentini. Massaro's header. Gambaro again, away from Signori. Good control then by Gambaro, who's started in confident fashion. Not easy replacing a man of Tassotti's calibre. Eranio with Gambaro. Here's Eranio now. Papan had showed for him. And Boban too. And it was Vinter who got it away. Any thoughts on who that might be, Liam? You know some of these Italians. Oh, that one, no. It's a Milan official, I'm told, Galliani. There you are. Those of you who may recognise him, I'm not among them. Costa Curta. Baresi's pass. Now Albertini, who's so important to Milan. Really does look tremendous prospect, Albertini. He's never been on the losing side for Milan, or indeed for the Italian national team when he's played.
No, he's a very good player. He's really taken the place of I can't remember the Ancelotti, who was a stalwart of the Milan side down through the seasons. And Albertini's come in and he's doing his job. He sits in midfield and just prompts play. Very tough character as well.
This is Bacodi. Now Boban. Good interception by him. Finding Papan. Oh! Fabulous strike by Papan. Hardly hesitated before smacking the ball in. Goal number 12 for Papan this season. And what a master craftsman he is.
Oh, what a great goal. So many of his goals in recent weeks have been struck first time, and here's another example of this. Great through ball from Boban. He's peeled away from his marker and doesn't hesitate, smashes it first time. Goalkeeper no chance, didn't expect it.
It left the goalkeeper absolutely motionless. The first time strike by Papan, and it was lethal. So Milan off to the perfect start, leading by a goal to nil, only 9 minutes gone. Papan, that's 19 he's got now in 25 games for Milan this season. And they were saying early on in the campaign he might not be fitting in. Here's Dole. Lazio have to come from behind. Signori has Gascoigne forward with him too. And Lazio have won the free kick. And the president of Lazio, Gratgnotti, wasn't anticipating that setback so early on.
No, he looks pretty glum. And I'm sure the Lazio fans feel the same. I think they're expecting a good performance from the team today, and that really is a bad blow.
Well, Dino Zoff may question the positioning of his goalkeeper. I don't know. Dino Zoff knows a lot more about goalkeeping than I do, but certainly there was no movement at all from Orsi. Just left completely stranded by the power and the accuracy of Papan's shot. That's not a bad effort either from Signori. Well saved then by Rossi. Towering figure of Rossi. He's around 6'5". And he had to keep a very careful eye on that one. Signori now taking the corner. Gascoigne's head up. And Rossi having to tip that one over the top. Well, we saw his power in the air with that goal against Roma earlier in the season. And that wasn't a bad header either. Here's a shot from Signori, Liam.
Yeah, good free kick. Dole peeled off the wall there to give Signori the room. Really, Rossi didn't have too much difficulty saving it, and nor with the header from Gascoigne.
Signori, and that's plucked out of the air with consummate ease by Rossi, who has this damaged shoulder, and certainly right up until the last moment, it was suggested he wasn't going to play. But I think the feeling appears to be that Cudicini is a very inexperienced goalkeeper, and maybe they couldn't risk him in this game. A big game, of course, for Lazio. Here's Dole. Aaron Winter operating very deep for Lazio. Here's Spacci, Cravero, calmly done. Pagodi. They also have Carino out through suspension. Lazio booked 8 times in 9 games. Here's Lentini. Closed down quickly though by Cravero and Bacci. And the throw given to Milan.
Yes, the Lazio fans unhappy there. I think that ball was out of play.
Maldini with Boban. Costa Curta. Well, one then by Winter. It was only as far as Lentini. Here's Winter again. Really has endeared himself to the Lazio fans this season, Aaron Winter. Thomas Dole, whose heel was clipped then, surely. Referee has blown for the foul. Referee Roberto Boggi from Salerno near Naples. Right on the ball then, as Dole threatened to stride away.
Yes, I'm not too sure whether Boban just clipped his heel or got the ball first there. But the referee was in a difficult position. We can see now. Certainly, following from behind, the referee would see this as a foul. But you see there that Boban got the ball.
Yes, Boban, and the evidence of that replay, a little unlucky there. Now, chance set for Lazio. Kick taken by Signori. Tried to find Gascoigne, didn't do so. Gazza will be really anxious to impress today, Liam. He didn't shine in the first game with Milan, and he looked a bit overwhelmed by it all on that occasion.
Yeah, if my memory serves me right, I think he came back after an England game, and he played pretty well for England during the week, and he didn't look in the best of condition, and the game really went past him. But Lazio have a real problem now, because they set the stall out to hit Milan on the break, and now they find themselves a goal down. Really, I don't know what's going to happen.
Here's Sklosa, veteran midfield player, now 32 years old. Sklosa, one of Gazza's best mates at the club. Well, his roommate is this man now, Aaron Winter. But he's been keen to stress again this week, Gazza, how satisfied he is with life in Rome. There have been so many reports saying he's unhappy, wants to come home. He's saying quite the opposite. Baresi wins it in the air. Here's Sklosa. Now Favali, very promising young defender in the Lazio side, captain of the Italian under-21 team. Sklosa, vastly experienced player, Sklosa. Always useful to have in your side, especially with the injury problems that Lazio have. It's Fuser, former Milan player. Scored that scorching goal in the first meeting back in October. Off goes Lentini, showing good pace here. Getting away from Winter. Dino Zoff's team with plenty of problems containing Milan. Now Gascoigne threading it through in search of Dole. Didn't link with him though. Albertini's pass. Here's Boban. It's not a bad ball either, is it? Picking out Aranio. Crosso was just too long. And then the drive going well wide.
Yes, the drive from Boban. This lad has really impressed me. He hasn't had much opportunity, but now that Gullit and Rijkaard have been out of the side, he's come in more and more often, and he really is a fabulous player. We saw the through pass for Papan for the goal that Milan scored, and that was a great crossfield ball to find Gambaro in space.
Yes, he's only started 7 games, Boban, but he's starting to question that a bit now. I think he feels he should be in the side on a regular basis. Of course, they have so much talent in depth at Milan with their 6 foreign players. And 1 or 2 useful ones down on the bench too. De Napoli, we saw in the picture there, the former Italian international who came from Napoli. And he hasn't started a single game so far this season.
Yeah, really the backbone of the side over the last 4 or 5 years is missing, with Rijkaard, Gullit and Van Basten out. But really nothing changes. They have this way of playing where they pressurise the ball, and everybody that comes into the side seems to fit into the scheme of things very comfortably.
Yes, that was the point Gascoigne was making after the first game. He was really impressed by the way Milan did pressurise you when you had possession. Also pressurise the player you were passing to. Albertini. Well run back though by Scloser and Dole. Here's Gascoigne now, turning away from Boban. That's good skill shown by Gaza. Fuser now. Started very promisingly as Paul Gascoigne. Fuser won't be too happy with that though. Now an Italian international. Interesting comparison really with Lentini. The two played together at Torino a few seasons back. And really Fuser getting in the Italian team at the moment, while Lentini has to settle for a place on the bench. Boban. This is Baresi. Always seems to have so much time in possession, Baresi. Aranio was fouled up shortly by Favali.
Really, with Signori just playing up front alone, Milan could keep the ball all day at the back if they wanted to.
The pass from Massaro finds Boban. Looking for Papan. And cool defending though by Bergodi. Albertini with Maldini. Ball given away almost then by Albertini. Bacci to Fuser. Too easy though for Gambaro. Baresi. Milan just knocking the ball around with so much confidence. That emanates, of course, from their fantastic run. 57 matches unbeaten in the league, and it was quite a shock when they lost to Roma in the week, but it had to happen sometime, as Fabio Capello was the first to say, their coach, afterwards. And of course, they still have the second leg still to come.
Yeah, and I bet it's not over yet. They'll be determined to turn that round.
Almost at the halfway point in the first half. This is Gambaro. Good interception by Victor. Gambaro again. Aranio. Really taking over the role that Gullit normally occupies on this right side, Aranio. Among the crowd, incidentally, watching today's game, 20 of our prize winners from recent competitions on Channel 4's coverage of Italian football. Perhaps we'll see some of those as well as everybody else in the crowd. Free kick to Lazio. We've suffered just the 2 home defeats before today. Looked like Clement Freud, that one.
I thought it was Luciano Pavarotti's brother.
Now, Victor. Brackley. Dole did well to ride the tackle then. Very strong player, Thomas Dole. Hasn't been at his best though, and he's not been an automatic choice in recent games. Gascoigne taking the free kick quickly, but too quickly. And he's furious there. Felt his shirt was tugged. But controlled his temper well. Off goes Lentini. Has a more definite role in the Milan side than he enjoyed at Torino. Lentini had a free role there, but far more disciplined in the Milan setup, where he hugs that left touchline. Seems to restrict him a bit too much for me, Leo. You feel
well, they have this scheme of playing, haven't they? It's a 4-4-2, and you've just got to fit into it. And I think they found a role for Lentini out wide on the left. He sometimes operates up front, but he really hasn't set the place on fire yet, has he?
Not for a man who cost 13 million, no. Here's Boban. Taking charge of the midfield area, Boban with Albertini. This is Gambaro now. Chance to cross it in. Way by Bagodi. Towering figure at the back for Lazio. Fuser. To Sklosa. Now Dole. Here's Gascoigne. With Sklosa. Milan so organised, and they break again quickly here. Papan. Very nearly escaped Bagodi's attentions there. Papan was the 9-2 favourite, incidentally, to score the first goal today, so he's lived up to that billing. Liam's wincing alongside me. You didn't have any money on him then, presumably?
No, I fancied a bet on him then.
Suppose you had Rossi again, did you? Eranio. Gascoigne. Albertini. Papan's dropped deep. This is Gambaro. Papan starting to make his run now towards that penalty box.
Well, Lazio are having their problems. Gascoigne and Dole seem to be playing everything to Signori's feet, really, and they need to get things behind Milan. Milan play this offside trap, and really Signori should be making runs in behind rather than looking for the ball to feet.
He's so mobile, Signori. Had that chance right at the start of the game, which he missed, and that may well prove costly. You don't get too many opportunities against Milan. Boban. Sklosa came charging into him. Fair tackle. Off goes Fuser. Gascoigne's ahead of him. And Signori on the run here. Now he's got away from them. What support, though, does he have? Still Signori. And that's how hard Milan work for each other, although the free kick has been conceded.
Yeah, I thought that was rather harsh there. I thought Signori had lost the ball himself.
Capello thought that too. Head in hands on the bench. 20 minutes of the first half to go. Fuser, who possesses a real thunderous shot. Might fancy something from here.
Yeah, this is a real good position for him. He can bend it, Fuser.
Curled round by Fuser. Rossi just got a hand to it. Appeals for a penalty. And the referee shook his head and said no. Wouldn't mind seeing that one again in a moment. Falali now to Fuser. Will stay with the action. Bent in then by Fuser, and it really gave Rossi a problem.
Yes, I think it was Dole coming across the front of him. Rossi did well to get a hand to it, and actually there's talk of a handball by Costa Curta, but Lazio's appeals were turned away.
So frustration for Dino Zoff and the Lazio side, but it'll lift their hopes anyway. This is Papan now, whose goal divides the two teams. Off goes Signori, but the whistle's gone for a free kick. is showing that Brescia have taken the lead against Juventus. But only Choyu, the Romanian, has scored for Brescia. And Sampdoria are a goal up away to Cagliari, and that's Roberto Mancini. That's his 11th of the season. And what a sparkling one it has been for Mancini. One of the great players in Italian football. Boban. Here's another one, Baresi. Played by Favoli. Finds Dole. Skipping past Albertini. Thomas Dole, the first East German to come over to Italy. Had a very good first season. Not quite matched it though in this campaign. And now he's fouled by Baresi. Plenty of movement by Dole.
Yeah, I think that's what's needed if they're going to unlock this Milan defence. They need runners from midfield.
Well, they've had the option in some games, of course, of playing Karl-Heinz Riedler, but he's out through suspension today. So Signori is the one outright striker, and Dole himself insists he's not a striker, he's a midfield man. Doesn't want to play right up front. That was Crivero with the header, who's scored a couple of times this season, including last week. Crivero.
I actually think they're going to miss Riedel a lot today. He's very, very good in the air. And crosses coming in, especially like that, you know, they could do with him there, really.
Yes, that's the real menace of Riedler, his strength in the air. He's not a big man, but his timing is immaculate. For Cagnotti, he's seeing his team making a fight of it anyway. In this pulsating atmosphere in the Olympic Stadium in Rome. 1-0 to Milan, the goal on 9 minutes from Jean-Pierre Papin. Massaro. That's going with the strength then, initially to hold off the challenge from Massaro. Now Winter can take over. Fuser. Winter continued his run. The covering though was from Baresi, who reads every situation so well.
I wouldn't be surprised maybe second half to see Winter push on. He makes really good runs from midfield, and I think they're missing out on that now. He's more or less playing a sweeper's role in front of his defenders.
This is a lot more to Winter's game than simply defending. Aranio. Papin. Gambaro. Tackle then by Bagodi on Papin. And it'll be interesting to see, Liam, what happens when Van Basten's fit again. Will he play Papin and Van Basten together?
Well, I don't see why not.
Both on 12 goals for the season. Certainly Papin feels the combination is worth a try. That was the original intention before the season started. But of course there are 4 other foreign players in contention for places too, and they all feel they should be playing. Here's Gascoigne now. Fuser with Maldini.
I think Fuser is going to have a problem today. Maldini's probably the best left back in the world. He's very, very strong. He's very, very quick, very aggressive. And I don't think Fuser is going to get much change out of him today.
Castacurta. "15 minutes of the first half to go. Milan in control, but certainly Lazio have had their moments, and they have extended on Milan on 1 or 2 occasions. It's so hard to break down though, Milan. So well organised at the back in particular, where it all revolves around Baresi. Gambaro. They won their first 8 away games in a row, Milan, 4 recent draws. So it doesn't matter where they play, they're extremely hard to beat. It's closer now. Here's closer again. Captaining Lazio today. Favali. Foul though by Eranio. Gascoigne. Here's Gaza once more. Again denied space though by the swift tackling of Milan. Dole to Sklosa. Here's Fouzer. Now Gaza. Dole. Immediately confronted though by three defenders. And away comes Albertini. Papan. That would have been some pass if he'd found his intended target. Fouzer had the strength to go through one tackle, then another 1-2. Signori battered over by Baresi. There's a yellow card. He doesn't mess about when he's threatened Baresi, does he?
No. He's probably the best body checker in the business, Baresi. As soon as he's beaten or the ball's knocked past him, he just stands in the way.
I mean, he's a brilliant defender, but when the mood takes him and the occasion is needed, that's what he resorts to. Pretty awful tackle that by Baresi. It's a free kick, a yellow card for him, and an opportunity for Dino's offside. Maybe a chance for Signori. Tested Rossi earlier on in the half from a similar sort of position. Gaza's hovering too. And also Fouzer. Here's Gascoigne. Great save by Rossi. Oh, Gaza's so unlucky.
That's a great effort from Paul Gascoigne. I think Rossi thinks he's got to put it in the near post, but he switches at the last minute. It's just fingertip save.
He only just got there then, Rossi. Here again from the other angle, curled round by Gascoigne, and Rossi just fingertipped it away. Sklosa. Lansley looking a little more perilous now, as Lazio endeavour to lift their game and stretch them again. Proverno. Up goes Dole, beaten in the air though by Baresi. Gascoigne. His influence is growing. Bacci. Cut out by Boban. Here's the danger now of Milan sweeping forward. Off goes Albertini. Gambaro has Eranio to his right. Good running by Gambaro. And he was closed down by Sklosa. Papan lurking in the 6-yard box. And it'll be Boban with the corner then for Milan. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Albertini. Signori back defending now. Good work by Maldini. Costa Curta. Maldini again. As Liam was saying, really has no peers in the world game, Maldini, when it comes to the left-back position. Nothing on for Papan there. Gascoigne with Fouzer. Dole ahead of him. Here's Sklosa. Milan players funneling back. Dole. Just nicked it away from Maldini, but Baresi was there. This is Dole. Gascoigne to Fouzer. Signori's waiting in the middle. And the corner conceded. Rossi didn't want to come for it. Away by Albertini. Here's Signori to take the corner kick. Oof. Well, Gascoigne was jostling for position. Actually, it's ironic, his sending off the other week has got him perhaps the best publicity he's had this season. His reactions after he was sent off was praised at most quarters. He went around shaking the hands of everyone he could see. And it seemed to endear him to people rather than alienate them.
Well, I think he had every reason to be upset about the sending off.
It's a crazy decision, really, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Free kick to Lazio, to Milan rather, leading by this single goal from Papin, just 9 minutes into the game. And if you missed it by tuning in late, I'm sure we'll see it again at half-time. It was a stunning strike by Papin. And there's another one. It's gone in off Massaro. Orsi came but didn't claim. And Massaro just got the touch on. That was enough. And it's 2-0 to Milan. 8 minutes from half-time.
Well, that's a very, very bad goal to concede. It finishes the game practically now. Again, a ball from Boban. And Orsi had all the time in the world to come for that. It's actually come off.
It's come off Winter. That'll have to go down as an own goal of Winter. Massaro with the challenge. And it was the head of Winter that guided the ball in. Fuzer. Now, could be a chance on here. Played in towards Gascoigne. There's no flag. The goal stands. What a riposte by Lazio and from Paul Gascoigne with his third goal of the season. And, well, Liam was saying the game's over. Not yet, Liam. They're right back in it.
Well, that's what they needed. Milan defence caught playing that dangerous offside trap. I think it was...
It's Bacci with the ball.
Bacci got round on the outside and Gascoigne had all the time in the world just to knock it in. I think that salvaged the game second half.
Well, it's certainly thrown Lazio a lifeline, to say the least. Squared across Gascoigne. He won't score an easier one than that. No emotion on the face of Dino Zoff, but what relief for him that his team are making a match of it now. Within a minute of the own goal by Winter, Paul Gascoigne makes it 1-2. Fuzer. Here's Gascoigne now. Rivero. Caparo almost lost out there. Costa Curta came across anyway. It was 5-3, remember, in the first meeting back in October. Maybe we're in for another high-scoring game. Bacci, whose pass laid on the goal. And for once they were really caught square at Milan, really caught napping by Lazio's attack. They say you're most vulnerable when you have just scored a goal in, but you don't expect that of Milan, really.
No, well, perhaps going 2-0 up, they thought, well, that's it, and they relaxed a bit. Certainly those two goals conceded. The Milan's second goal and the Lazio goal were very easily conceded, very bad goals.
Yellow card for Albertini. I tell you what, Gas is fired up now, isn't he?
Yes, he's having a fine game. Really, they need him to open this defence up.
He's really relishing this situation, Paul Gascoigne. He's arguing the toss at the moment with Albertini after the two of them had clashed. Albertini quite clearly tugging back Paul Gascoigne by his shirt. In the meantime, there's an injury, I think, to one of the Milan players there. Can't quite see who that was. Capello seeing his team go 2 up, and then that sudden reply from Paul Gascoigne for Lazio.
Well, I think Orsi will have to take the blame for Milan's second goal. He really should have come off his line and dealt with that. Winter shouldn't be in his own 6-yard box trying to defend. And then Lazio's goal really was a giveaway by Milan, playing offside. Bacci got around the side of them, and Gascoigne had an easy task once the cross came in, just to roll it into the back of the net.
And no one, I'm sure, was more relieved than Aaron Winter. Certainly Fernando Orsi was struggling on the through ball from Boban. And he's given away 1 or 2 goals in recent weeks as Orsi, and they have been looking for a new keeper. Massaro seems to have been winded, but hopefully is okay. This Fiore, of course, was in goal for Lazio earlier in the season, then Orsi taking over, and he started well enough. Does seem to have lost his way in recent games. They've been linked with Luca Marchigiani, the goalkeeper of Torino, the number 2 in Italy. But they wanted £7 million and didn't want him to go anyway. There's the man of the moment, Paul Gascoigne. But Fouzer looks to be lining up a shot from here, and he's whipped that one over, and over the bar too. Not this time. Diego Fouzer, who's managed 8 goals this season and has been an instant success too in the Lazio side, so much so that he got his call up for the Italian national team.
Well, I think Milan will just want to see this 45 minutes out and go in with the advantage of that goal lead. And then really it's up to Zoff to decide what to do. Does he commit more men forward to get that equaliser and take a chance on Milan, hit them on the break, or does he continue the way he's doing?
Aggressive play shown then by Massaro, and finding Gambaro. Should be Bagodis. Yes, Fouzer. Bacci. Fouzer once more. Now Gascoigne. To Sklosa. Almost into the last minute now of the first half. Gascoigne. Here's Favalli. Signori's made the run. And he's, I think it's Thomas Dolan, and he's offside. Just mistimed his run through then, Thomas Dolan. But every prospect of this game living up to expectations in the second half now that Lazio have pulled that goal back. I think my reaction was the same as Liam's when the second one went in. That should have been curtains for Lazio, but they've replied in such style.
Yes, they've been given a lifeline, and neither defence looks particularly comfortable, so there's a possibility there's more goals in this game.
Massaro. Ranio. Orsi holding on. Off goes Fouzer. The 2 most attack-minded sides in terms of goals anyway in Serie A. I shall be surprised if we don't see some more in the second half. Here's Dole. Came off Maldini. It's a corner. Dole wondering if Signori wants to take it. He doesn't. So it's Dolan with the kick. Bagodi has come up from the back. Crivero too. Players shielding their eyes from the bright sunlight in Rome. Bacci under pressure from Papin. His finishing is phenomenal, Liam. We don't see a great deal of him, though, apart from the goal scoring.
No, he's an out-and-out goal scorer, isn't he?
And what an awesome goal it was from Papin to give Milan the lead. 10 in the last 9 games now from Papin. Here's Gascoigne. Glorious skill. Great close control then from Gaza. He's enjoying himself out there now. Sort of stage he loves to perform on. There's so many world-class players around him. Favalli, Winter. I think we'd all like to see Winter venturing further forward. Gascoigne now. And the cheer in the background was to signal a goal against Roma, Lazio's great rival, scored by Inter. And it was Battistini, so Inter won up against Roma in the San Siro. Fuser. Challenged by Latini. An illegal one though. Working really hard, Diego Fuser. Faced, as Liam was saying, by perhaps the best left back in the world. So he's got his work cut out today as Fuser. Deep into injury time. Good cross in too, but the flag was up in favour of Milan. Gascoigne wants to be involved in everything.
Well, Milan play that risky offside, don't they? And they were caught out during the week when they conceded a goal against Rome, the first goal. And they're living dangerously, and if Gascoigne and Dahl can make good runs from midfield, they can get in behind and get in one-on-one situations with the goalkeeper.
The half-time whistle is blown by referee Boggi. A very eventful first half with Milan going ahead. Cracking goal by Jean-Pierre Papin on 9 minutes. Then the second goal, the own goal by Arne Winter, which seemed to have put Milan into a very secure situation. But then back came Lazio, and indeed that man Paul Gascoigne, to make it 2-1 to Milan at half-time. And so much to look forward to in the second half. We'll be back with Gazza's Golden Goals after the break, so stay with us.
Have a look at these golden goals. 6 of the best scored over the last 2 weekends in Serie A. Just match your top choice with Paul Gascoigne's and you'll win a trip to watch the Italian Cup final and some specially designed Jean-Pierre Papin football boots. Goal number 1. Jean-Pierre Papin's second goal for Milan in the crushing of Sampdoria. Goal 2. Roma's winner scored by Thomas Hessler against Juventus. Goal 3 scored by Gabriel Batistuta for Fiorentina against Inter. Goal number 4, the second for Milan's Dejan Savicevic against Fiorentina. Goal 5 scored by Roma's Giuseppe Giannini against Cagliari. And finally goal 6, Massimiliano Caprioli's first for Cagliari against Atalanta. When you've made your choice, ring us on 0891 555 444. The first caller picked out by our computer when lines close next Friday, whose choice of just the top goal matches Paul Gascoigne's, goes into a winner's draw for a trip for 2 to watch the Italian Cup final at the end of the season. They'll also win a pair of these newly designed Jean-Pierre Papin boots and a special designer bag. Special runners-up prize this week, one of these Italian soccer watches with the club face of your choice. They'll also get copies of our new Football Italia magazine, the very latest edition of which has just been published. It contains a review of the first half of the season, background articles on all the emerging stars, and goes behind the scenes of Football Italia. The winner of our last Golden Goals competition from Sunday week goes into a winner's draw for a chance of a trip for 2 to see the Italian Cup final, and takes home a pair of Jean-Pierre Papin boots. Choice of the best goal of the 6 shown in our last Sunday competition, goal number 1, scored by Diego Fuser for Lazio against Cagliari. This runner-up also agreed with Paul Gascoigne's choice and takes home an Italian club watch. And finally, a reminder of this week's 6 goals. Remember, the lines are open until next Friday. The winners will be chosen then and announced at this time next week. Don't forget, full details of all our competitions are on page 365 of Foretel. Channel 4's teletext service.
Welcome back to Football Italia on Channel 4. Paul Gascoigne out in readiness for the start of the second half from our featured game in the Olympic Stadium in Rome. Milan leading by 2-1. Paul Gascoigne bringing his team right back into it. Just looking through the other half-time scores. Ancona are a goal up against Parma. Soliano. Brescia 1 up against Juventus. Choyo. A goal for Sampdoria. That's Mancini. Away to Cagliari, no goals Fiorentina against Pescara, or Genoa and Foggia, that's without a goal too. Inter 1 up against Roma, Battistini, and it's Napoli 1, Udinese 1, Udinese 0 rather, that's Ciro Ferrara in injury time in the first half, and Torino 1, Atalanta 0, Carlos Aguilera, the Uruguayan international, and also a goal there in injury time. Torino 1 up against Atalanta. So, Liam, your thoughts as the teams take the field then in readiness for the second half? We've got a substitute on there. That's Simone, who's come on for Milan. We'll just check round in a moment. There's Massaro, so he hasn't gone off. So they're in partnership up front. Maybe Papan won't come out. We were talking about resting him. And he also took a knock towards the end of the first half. Away then go Milan. And indeed, Papan has not taken his place in the starting lineup for the second half, so that's a disappointment for us watching, but I would think Capello keeping him back for that game on Wednesday. It's Simone now. He's a useful player to have in reserve. Liam.
Well, I think Lazio have to make a conscious decision now to push more men forward and give Signori the support he needs. He's more or less playing on his own up front, and the Milan defence, apart from free kicks, have coped quite well with him. So I would like to see Winter, Gascoigne, Dahl all push forward more and get round the back of Milan.
Well, here's Gascoigne now. Pretty impressive in the first half. He'll be hoping to build on that. It's an excellent pass to Thomas Dahl. Teasing ball in, didn't find Signori though. Only as far as Gascoigne. He's threatening to take this game by the scruff of its neck. Still Gascoigne! And he almost beat Rossi then. Just got down to save. A really enterprising start to the second half, though, by Paul Gascoigne. He was in the mood.
Yes, he's very much so today. He waltzed past the Milan defence there, and I think Baresi actually pulled him as he was on the point of shooting.
Gambaro. Here's Simone. A little turn of speed shown by him, and very nearly linking too with Massaro. The two not often in tandem up front for Milan. When Van Basten's fit and Papan's fit, they're going to be the first choices. Simone, in fact, really features in most of the cup games rather than the league fixtures. That seemed to be the compromise that Milan have offered him. Played against Porto in the European Cup and also against Roma in the Italian Cup in midweek. Signori twisting and turning, nearly got through too. That's his strength.
Yes, they've started the game, the second half, in a more determined fashion, Lazio.
It's got the crowd right behind them too. Who's there? This is Maldini. It's a lovely play by him. Fabulous player to watch, Maldini. Simone. Just doesn't seem to have a weakness to his game, Maldini. And amazingly, still only 24 years old. 45 caps already. And he will have in his sights, I'm sure, Dino Zoff's record of 112. And he'll surely pass it if he stays fit and keeps his form. Here's Maldini now. Good turn by Simone, trying to shake off Paul Gascoigne. Couldn't do so. Boban. Now Sklosa. Exciting start for the second half. Off goes Signori. Has Dole up with him. Fuzier away to his right. Tied it up though first by Maldini, then Baresi. And here's Lentini. Boban. I think you had the feeling, Liam, in the first half, Milan playing a little bit within themselves, but in fairness, Lazio are really making a match of it.
Yes, they are. But what's surprising is the space the midfield players have, really. We can see now they've got plenty of time on the ball, both sides. And it's actually suiting Gascoigne. I think that's why he's playing so well today.
Baresi. Gaza produced that telling pass, that telling moment that might swing this game further towards Lazio. Fouled it on Simone. 3 goals from Simone this season. And he popped up with some useful goals in the last campaign too, although he didn't start all that many.
I think we could see Boban hit this. He's quite dangerous from this kind of distance, although I see Massaro as well lining up. But Boban could hit this.
There's Boban's shot. And Orsi, who's not the tallest of goalkeepers, having to watch that one as it just tipped over the bar. And just to bring you the score of the big match in England today at Old Trafford, the top 2 in the Premier League, it's Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 1. Albertini, Maldini. Costa Curta, excellent first time pass then to Albertini. Gambaro. Still bright sunshine in the stadium. And a bright opening to the second half. Albertini. No question they're missing Frank Rijkaard, who's been out for several matches through injury this season at Milan. Massaro now. And Bagnoli, the coach of Inter, their great rivals, was saying when Albertini and Rijkaard don't play, they're only half the team. Gascoigne. Determination on his face there. Such a wholehearted player, Paul Gascoigne. Now Eranio. Pass closer, not the challenge of Victor, and it's a free kick to Milan.
Yeah, I think that was a nice little dive by Eranio. He got himself into a bit of trouble, lost the ball, decided on a little dive and got away with it.
Maldini. Here's Lentini, fairly quiet first half. Hasn't really imposed himself on the game, and won't do with shots like that. He's saying he's homesick. Comes from Turin. Torino, his last club, of course.
It's only an hour down the motorway, Peter. It can't be too bad.
Maldini. Closer with a chance now to set Lazio on their way. Here's Signori. Now, can he finish here? Couldn't get away though from Baresi and company. Then Fuser with a shot. Rossi saves. Meanwhile, the first goal of the second half elsewhere. Fiorentina have taken the lead against Pescara. And it's a long-range free kick from Stefan Effenberg, the German international. It's Fuser, the Italian international. Now to the German doll, Gascoigne taking over. Fuser, full of running. And Lazio are going for it, really positive. But he does get so wrapped up in the game, Paul Gascoigne. Occasionally things go wrong for him and it all boils over. But when he's playing like he is today, well, it's a treat to watch him. Gambaro. Costa Curta. Milan will want to take the sting out of this early second half flourish from Lazio. Lentini. Masters at containing sides, Milan. And then just raising a gear, raising a notch or two when they need to. Gascoigne's pass, threaded through to Dole. Asking a lot though of Sklosa. Boban was in quickly. Gambaro. Starting a match for only the 4th time in Serie A this season, Gambaro. And had a competent first half. Easy catch for Orsi. This is Bergodi for Lazio. Now then to Winter. Doe. Favalli with the attempted cross. Too easily dealt with though by Milan. It's closer though to Crivero. Milan back on the defensive now. Winter to Fauzer. They won't want him shooting from long range. Winter trying to wriggle through. Maldini, and he was held back then by Crivero. There we saw Winter venturing forward, Liam.
Yes, but we also saw the ability of Maldini to cope with his attackers. Really great player, cool under pressure. I don't think Capello can be too happy, especially with his midfield department at the moment. Lazio seem to be dominating that area of the pitch, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's going to make a substitution.
Gascoigne. Favalli towards Signori. Could make nothing of that one though. Boban and Sklosa colliding. Massaro. Milan having trouble breaking out of defence, but they can now with Eranio taking on Favalli, and he couldn't find Simone. The Lazio fans really making themselves heard now around the stadium. Scintillating atmosphere. Gascoigne. Here's Dole, looking to commit defenders. Great turn of pace set to Baresi, was in the way. Dole had done the hard bit, just needed to square it back then, and surely there would have been a goal-scoring chance for Lazio. But that was an electrifying burst of pace from Thomas Dole.
Yes, it was a good run by Dole. He actually chose the wrong option there. He decided to pull the ball back when the ball square across the face of the goal would have found Signori.
Winter, Lazio really taking the game to Milan. Dole, round one tackle, brutally challenged then by Costa Curta. And Jean-Pierre Papin down on the bench now, taking no further part in the game. No word as to whether the injury is serious or not, or maybe just being rested. Seems a long time since his goal gave Milan the lead. It's all about Lazio at the moment. Now Signori is Gascoigne too, hoping to extend Rossi in the Milan goal. Referee wanting that wall further back. Gascoigne is there. Signori. Only taking a couple of paces, then whipping in the shot. Well, that's his ploy that he adopts for penalty kicking. Just takes that one pace back. Fair amount of power on the shot, and he's curled it round two.
Yes, wasn't too far away at the end. It was always going to finish outside. But what a great advantage to have in your team when you've got Signori, Fauzer and Gascoigne all from that distance. Very dangerous with free kicks.
Eranio. Faced by Bacci, and Sklosa helping out as well. And it's Sklosa who comes away with it. Gascoigne. Albertini just got a foot in ahead of Dole. Now Lentini. Simone. Out comes Crivero. Milan having to funnel back again. Gascoigne hoping to get something started here for Lazio. Still Gascoigne taking them all on. Fauzer. The cross, which Rossi came for. Costa Curta had to help him out.
Gascoigne is very, very influential on this Lazio period now. And Capello's obviously a worried man because, as I said earlier on, they really are winning the midfield battle.
Oh, Gascoigne dictating the game at the moment. Here's Signori. Neatly taken corner. Thomas Dole trying to shake off Baresi's attentions. He's done well here, Dole. Oh, just wide by Vinter. Into the side netting.
Yeah, good chance. Wasn't an easy chance. Dole whipped the ball in from the back line. And Vinter tried to flick it past Rossi, but he was a little bit too far outside the near post.
Dole did extremely well then to get across him at all. Simone, outsmarted though by Bacci. I bet he's got through a few of those in this game.
Yeah, Dino likes a cigarette. I think Lazio have a great chance of ending Milan's unbeaten 57 league match unbeaten run here. When you think of the players that are missing from Milan, Lazio have a real chance.
Good run here for Valli, threatening to go all the way too.
They're missing 5 foreign players now. Boban is the only foreign player they've got on the side, so it's more or less an all-Italian Milan side. And I think it's lacking a little bit in the experience. And I think that's why Lazio are dominating at the moment.
Dominating and searching for that second goal. That would bring it back to 2-2. Some more goal news for you. It's Napoli 2, Udinese 0. Olicano, the second goal for Napoli. And it's Fiorentina 2 now, Pescara 0. Batistuta, the Argentine, has got the second goal for Fiorentina. Poor Pescara in trouble again. Fuser. Good tackle though by Boban. He's a player I know you've much admired, Liam Boban. Gives the ball away, as I say that.
Yes, I think he's going to be a real force in the Italian game. He's only 25.
Closest pass, easily read though by Maldini. Vinter getting back. Bacci. Rivero neatly turned away. Cavalli. Here's Dole, popping up all over the field, Thomas Dole. He's had a much better game today than he's had on his recent appearances. Bogodi. Baresi was in sharply, and the free kick has gone Milan's way.
You're loath to criticise anybody in this field, but I think Milan's 2 wide men, Aranio and Lentini, have let them down a bit today. I think Albertini and Boban have done a fine job in the centre of the field, but they haven't had much support on the wide areas.
Simone, I think, out there injured. Substitutes on for Papan. Whistles around the stadium from the Lazio fans who want their team to get on with it now, having taken control of the second half. And they don't want their team to lose their rhythm. Here's the challenge again. Bacci clattering into the back of Simone. Bacci, who's a utility player, he's slotted into a variety of positions. The marker's role today for him, with Bragucci out and Lazzardi as well. Keeping a tight rein, and too tight there, on Marco Simone. Boban. Massaro sprinting into position. Here's Massaro going down. Play on, says the referee. Fuser. Asking too much there of Signori. Again, the lone figure up front until support arrives. Fuser. Oh, he's given it away to Albertini. Gambaro. Here's Eranio, one of the many Italian internationals on view. Here's another one, Albertini. Now then to Boban. Gambaro, patient approach here by Milan, but retaining possession until it's given away and harmlessly through. Certainly doesn't look too satisfied, does he? Capello, the coach of Milan. The lead looks a slender one, but they've been in so many tight situations over the past couple of years and come through it, Milan. You still have your money on them. Crivero. Last defeat against Bari way back in May 1991. Crivero tipping it forward. Goes then for the rebound as well. Here's Closer. Signori offside, I would think, against Gascoigne there rather than Signori. That's Di Napoli, who I think is about to come on for Milan.
I think Simoni might be the one to come off here. I think he took a knock on the back there with a challenge from Bacci. They'll possibly stick Lentini up front now instead of Simoni.
Di Napoli, just 4 appearances as a substitute for Milan since his move from Napoli last summer. His verdict on that: how can I complain when I'm part of the greatest club in the world and earn so much money? One way of looking at it, Liam.
Yeah, he's been a great player to Napoli down through the seasons. Very good when Naples won the championship with Maradona. Very important player.
Fuser. Maldini. Outmaneuvered by Gascoigne. He wants to take the free kick quickly and do so now. Fuser. Dole has pulled wide for him. Dole to Winter. Now Fuser. Promising build-up here. Racy, though, was in the way. Now Winter with a shooting chance. Searching, though, instead for Signori, who had no chance of reaching that one, really. Now the break could be on for Milan. Massaro. Eranio had continued his run forward, but to no avail. This is Bacci. Gascoigne, a little lucky there. Cavalli. Here's Dole. Another probing run by Dole, helped out by Favalli. Here's Dole once more. Oh, Gascoigne hadn't spotted Massaro running back. Now the break really is on. Boban. Oh, Lentini was going nowhere. Maldini. Albertini. Fuser leaves it for Gascoigne. Fuser again. Maldini to Boban. Gascoigne. Dole, Gascoigne again, ran straight into Baresi. And Costa Curta had to hook it away. So full of imagination, Paul Gascoigne. That's not a bad effort, running across the face of the goal from Dole as Signori was waiting to pounce. A let-off for Milan, relief for Capello.
Actually, the Milan team looks a little bit tired. I don't know whether the climate in Rome will be too hot for them today, but they're looking as if they're suffering a bit. A bit of fatigue has set in.
It really is a golden opportunity for Lazio to inflict this first defeat for such a long, long time. But they've still got much to do. Trailing by 2-1. All the goals in the first half. Gascoigne now. Brackley. Gascoigne again. Rivero. Milan pulling so many players back behind the ball. Thomas Dole. Milan looking to soak up the pressure, but they haven't succeeded. Away by Baresi. No foul. Now the whistle's gone. Free kick to Milan. Just news coming in of the other Rome team, Roma. They've got a goal back. It's 1-1 now against Roma, against Inter. And it's Caniggia with the equaliser. And it's 1-1 Torino against Atalanta. Goal for Atalanta has just been scored. No news at the scorer at the moment. An own goal.
Both teams seem to be a bit tired now. I don't know whether Lazio have run out of steam, but really if they're going to get back in this game, they need to commit more people forward and take a chance at the back.
It certainly is a very warm afternoon in Rome. Rivero's pass to Favalli. So the heat may be taking its toll. This fellow, though, still seems full of running. Thomas Dole. Bacci now. Gascoigne linking with Fouzer.
I think that's where they miss Riedel. They're actually getting the good areas to cross the ball now, but Signori's not the best in the air, and they're actually missing Riedel.
Baresi whacking it clear. Lazio here capped at the Milan half. But can they make this pressure count? It's closer. Here's Costa Curta. Certainly the pace has gone out of the game, though. Boban seems to be okay now. Signori, dispossessed though by Albertini. Eranio hasn't got too much support at the moment. Taking on Sklosa. It's good pace shown by Eranio. Bogodi, very cool under pressure. Fouzer. Time for Maldini. Massaro, Di Napoli. Rivero. Now Vinter. To Gascoigne.
Well, I think the game now needs some inspiration, and it's got to come from Dole or from Gascoigne. The Milan side now have settled for what they've got. They've got getting a lot of people behind the ball. I don't think they're too interested in scoring another goal unless they hit Lazio on the break. And really it's up to Dole, Gascoigne, Vinter to give us that inspiration to get that equaliser.
Costa Curta was caught out then by Dole, trying to send Signori away. And look how quickly Franco Baresi recovered. Now Lazio are going to make a substitution here. This is Stroppa, Giovanni Stroppa. Has featured in quite a few of the games as a substitute. He's only started the one. As Rossi comes to the rescue, I think the flag was up anyway. News of another goal. It's Cagliari 0, Sampdoria 2 now. And another goal for Roberto Mancini, his second of the game. Sklosa going off, Stroppa coming on. So they're sending on an attacker in Stroppa. There's the cross from Favalli.
there's a half a chance here, but Rossi dealt with it quite well, quickly off his line and a neat little punch away.
Gascoigne. Well, that was neatly done. Now can he get the better of Maldini? Well, it's a corner. He's asking so many questions of Milan, is Paul Gascoigne. Baresi calling for his fellow defenders to retain their concentration now. The game certainly isn't won yet. Goal. Offside. Baresi pulled those defenders out so quickly.
Yeah, they do that so well. If the cross doesn't come in first time, they wait for the striker of the ball and they just move out accordingly, and they usually catch people offside. They do it very, very well.
Nonetheless, still plenty for Capello to worry about, with Lazio having the lion's share really in the second half in terms of possession, even though they haven't created too many outright chances. Cravero now to Vinta. The Lazio fans would like to see Vinta showing more ambition now. He does add an extra dimension when he comes forward. Fuser now. Pagodi. On from Dole, and Fuser! Well, it was a good chance. He had the option too of Signori at the far post, went it alone, and that has to go down as a squandered opportunity for Diego Fuser.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic football though, to get Fuser in. Good ball from the defender. First time pass. Saw Fuser in. His pace took him beyond Baresi, but he didn't get a shot on target.
15 minutes to go. It's still Milan leading by 2-1. But living a little dangerously then. Eranio now. Albertini. This is Maldini. Massaro. Gascoigne. Offside. Oh, it was marginal. Thomas Dole certainly didn't agree. Oh, that was close.
Yes, very close. Mind you, the linesman was right there, so he had the best view of all. Very close to him.
Baresi away to Gambaro. Dole would certainly have been in the clear then if the flag had stayed down. A clear sight on goal. Oh, Signori's yards off this time.
Yeah, I think that was offside then. I think you'll see that the Milan defence is not really bothering coming forward anymore. You've got Maldini, who's prepared to sit at left back. You've got Gambaro, who's prepared to sit at right back, not venturing forward at all. They've settled for the 2-1. And it's going to be very difficult for Lazio to break that Milan defence down.
No way back for Udinese, away to Napoli. They're now 3 goals down. Fonseca, that's 14 for the season for him to make it 3-0. And Brescia, I've got another one against Juventus, so it's 2-0 to Brescia. Napoli pumping it forward. Baresi, appeal for handball. Referee some distance away. And he didn't see anything. Maybe we'll get another glimpse of that one in a moment. Bacci. Lazio being urged on by their massive support in the stadium now. Dole. He's got Signori in the middle. Gascoigne's up too. Still Dole. Maybe took on one too many. Away by Albertini. Eranio. You really have the feeling that Milan are vulnerable today. But Lazio just can't find a way through. Now I can't believe that's quite as bad as it looks for Eranio.
No, I think they're going into the last 15 minutes. He wants to waste a little bit of time here. I think it was a fairly innocuous challenge. Eranio wants to waste a bit of time.
I don't think it was even a foul. Massaro. Off goes Fuser. Well, he's enhanced his reputation again today, Fouzer. Up against Maldini. He certainly hasn't settled for second best on the day. Superbly, though, Maldini has played. Gascoigne now. Signori. Oh, Signori's through! Oh, great save by Rossi. Signori's so close to an equaliser then, in typically predatory fashion, escaping the marking, and he couldn't beat Rossi. Gascoigne in, Signori now! He's missed it again. Two chances in the space of a few seconds for the master goal poacher.
Yeah, Milan are really living dangerously now. Great skill in the first instance from Signori. Probably on his wrong foot, but Rossi's a big man, and he spread himself well, and he got his right hand to it. And then the second chance, a good cross from Gascoigne. Milan again pushing out, playing that offside trap. Linesman didn't signal offside, and Signori had a great chance to head, diving header to knock it past Rossi, but didn't make it.
Well, all credit to the goalkeeper for a superb save by Rossi from Signori. And the second one, well, was agonisingly near to a goal then too. Stropper now. Lazio throwing everything at Milan. Too long for Gascoigne. 10 minutes to go, and they look like being 10 very anxious minutes for Milan.
Look how he spread himself there, the goalkeeper. He's such a big man. He reached out and touched that round the post.
Really well to get down to that one, Rossi. We don't hear too much about the goalkeepers really from Milan, such as the quality of their outfield players, but no question he has saved Milan today, and he's saved vital penalties too in other games when they've been on the rack. Antonioli out through injury, Rossi coming back into the side, and he's done really well in recent games. And don't forget he's playing as well with a shoulder injury, which threatened his place in the starting lineup today. Stropper. Off goes Signori. Dolan made the run ahead of him. Stropper now. Goes Fouzer. Well, they've got Milan reeling now. Victor. Gascoigne. Finds Bergodi. Back into the danger zone. Away by Costa Curta. Fouzer. Gascoigne. This is Stropper. Chip through. There's a flag up. There's about 4 of them offside there.
Yes, there again, Milan's offside trap working to perfection. But I think Milan, I can see Capello on the sideline telling the Milan to come out. They're falling back into their own box. And they're risking giving Lazio chances just by simply chipping the ball into their area. Capello wants them out, wants them pushed out.
Yeah, they're defending very deeply, Milan. It's a dangerous game. Ravali now. Dole. He's been impressive today, Thomas Dole. His fall had slumped, they were saying. Not on this occasion. There's Gascoigne's pass. Again, good vision shown by the England man, and Signori was almost onto it. Look at that, no one from Milan upfield at all.
Now the game's taking a complete turnaround. It was like this in the first half. Lazio hardly playing anybody up front. Now Milan have forsaken front players just to defend this lead.
Gascoigne with De Napoli, who yanks him down. Big smile from Gaza. Shake of the hand. His chewing gum's gone. He asked the referee for something the other week.
This is a good position for Lazio. Again, if they had Riedel in this position, they'd be really, really dangerous.
7 minutes to go. Stropper to take the free kick. Rossi with a lot of organising to do. This packed crowd on the edge of their seats now. Oh! Signori didn't make contact. Well, the marking was all askew. Thomas Doll now. Still Lazio pressing. Milan with just about everybody back defending. Stropper. And tamely into the welcoming arms of Sebastiano Rossi.
Yeah, another great chance there. Really, the Milan defence nowhere when that cross came in.
Now Crivero having to scamper back. That's excellent defending by him. Well, Capello's team are still leading, but only just. Lazio have really extended them in the second half. Gascoigne now. Fuser. Dole's gone forward. Flags up. Offside.
Yeah, I think he's offside that time.
But his zest for the game today, Thomas Dole, has been so refreshing. A lot of competition for places among the four foreigners at Lazio. And Dole seems to have been the odd one out in recent times. What have you made of his performance today?
Yeah, I think it's been very, very good. Playing in that little role behind Signori.
To stay with the play here, Lentini. Now then De Napoli. It's a rare excursion upfield for Milan. Albertini. Really has been a question of holding on to what we have in the second half for Milan. But with 5 minutes to go, they still look like extending that unbeaten league run to 58, unless Lazio can pull one out of the fire at the end here. Gascoigne. Well, the linesman absolutely adamant. Signori absolutely furious. Yellow card for taking his protest too far.
It must be very frustrating for a forward playing against the Milan defence because they play the offside trap so well. It's a dangerous game, but they've played it like this now for the last 4 or 5 seasons and they've got it to perfection. I think the odd goal they concede is down to playing it badly at times, but I think the benefits have proved that with wins in the League Championship and European Cups, they've got it to perfection.
Bocodi. Dole. Now Gascoigne. Here's Crivero. There's no flag this time. Stropper. Bocodi! It's 2-2.
Well, they've conceded the first goal playing the offside badly and they've conceded the second goal playing it badly. They really haven't looked the same team today, Milan. And I think Lazio have got what they deserved. And they could possibly go on to win the game.
His first goal of the season has brought Lazio back on level terms. The elation of Bocodi, the Lazio players, the Lazio fans, and the sheer dismay we saw a moment or so ago on the face of Costa Curta. No offside flag. Everyone looking across to the linesman. Stropper allowed to go on. And Bocodi had got away from the marking. And tucks it into the corner with Rossi beaten. We're now in for a grandstand finale. Lazio 2, Milan 2
Great
in
ball.
the Olympic Stadium.
Great ball from Stropper with the outside of his foot.
And for once the offside trap has failed. Well, if you live by the sword, as they say.
Absolutely, Peter. They've conceded 2 goals today by playing it badly. They look very, very tired, the Milan players.
What a finish now. Off goes Dole with Baresi. Just managed to check him, and he was fouled anyway by the German. But he's on a real high, this fellow Thomas Dole. Back into the side, and he's responded with an exhilarating display. Almost a hint of a smile then from Cragnotti. Well, he can be proud of the way his team have played, especially in the second half here when they've taken the game to Milan. And now they have their reward. Milan will try to retain possession in the closing minutes. Maldini. Lentini. Massaro. Brackley in quickly, just happy to pump it forward for Lettini to chase. Bagodi, the goal scorer. Now Stropper. Stropper again. Once more the outside of the foot, and once more up sprouts the linesman's flag.
He's had a busy day today, that linesman, hasn't he?
Would be a linesman.
Very, very difficult job when Milan is playing to be the linesman. Probably more important than the referee at times.
I think they'd like to bring their own linesman with them, but they can't do that, Milan.
We just had the statistics come up there. Lazio have been caught offside 10 times. Milan haven't been caught offside.
But it let them down for the equaliser. And indeed, of course, for the first goal too. And there was certainly a suspicion of offside about Gascoigne's goal.
Of course, this changing of the offside rule hasn't helped Milan's case anything. And he has it, Peter, because now that you're level, you're onside, and it's even more difficult for the linesman, especially when Milan are playing away from home and the home crowd get behind their team and they intimidate the linesman.
One or two unsavoury scenes around the stadium as passions run high. Massaro! Rossi right behind it. We're into injury time. Capello can't keep still down there on the touchline. His team might lose it yet. Gascoigne. Can't be too long to go. Venter, they have had one or two stoppages in the second 45 minutes. Stropper. Rivero. Milan will know they've been in a match today, that's for sure. Stropper. Well, it's turned to anger now from Capello.
Well, I think he's very disappointed in his side. I've never seen a Milan team give the ball away so much. Look very, very tired. I think he'd be well satisfied with the result after the way his team has played.
Well, they've survived in the end, Milan. The unbeaten run stretches again. 58 now. But my word, what a fight Lazio made of it. Really took the game by the scruff of its neck in the second half. Inspired by Paul Gascoigne. And the late goal from Bagodi suggested they might even snatch a win. Everybody wants to talk to Brackley, the president of Lazio. I'm sure they want to talk to Gazza too. Although he doesn't give too many interviews to the Italian media. But he'll be well pleased, Liam, with his own contribution today.
Yes, I think he's done very well today. I think him and Dahl took the game to Milan. They caused them most of their problems. And if we had had Signori in form today, I think we would have seen this Milan's unbeaten run end. And really, they have to be kicking themselves, Lazio, at the second goal they conceded. The first goal was a class goal, but the second goal was a bad goal to concede. And they probably would have won the game if Winter hadn't have scored that own goal.
One or two disturbances, sadly, to see in the stadium. We won't dwell on those. We'll look back, Liam, on the goals and the highlights. Well, that's Papat's goal. What a strike.
Yes, great strike. Good through ball from Boban, as we already said. They were infrequent, the attacks from Milan, but when they attack like this, they really are dangerous. I thought Orsi was caught unawares. Really didn't expect the shot, which he should do from somebody like Papin. Great ball from Boban. He couldn't have struck it any better.
Just doesn't give it a second thought, does he, Papin? Fabulous strike. Now here's Signori's free kick. And, well, Rossi, maybe not that difficult to save, but he...
No, it was a good strike from Signori, but it was a fairly easy save, comfortable save from Rossi. Just touched it to go over for a corner kick.
A bit more extended, though, if my memory serves me correctly, from Gazza's free kick.
Yes, here Gazza shapes up to put the ball in here at the near post, and the very last second switches it. Something like Platini used to do during his career. But Rossi did very, very well. A lot of goalkeepers would have come across much more, but he's a big lad, and we saw in the second half what a great reach he's got to get to the ball.
And as we were saying, they've got so many options on the set pieces with Gascoigne, Signori, Fuser. Now here's the second goal. Boban planting it forward.
Yeah, well, I think Orsi should certainly be out there, maybe claiming that ball. Certainly you don't want Winter, who's not the biggest of men, defending a high ball like that on a 6-yard box. And I think the fact that Winter is not a defender, is not a big man, has cost them the goal.
Well, it left Orsi completely wrong-footed there. Now, well, here's the goal back from Paul Gascoigne. We can't really see from the initial angle about an offside there.
No, but certainly Milan played offside, and Bacci was, when he received the ball, was 5 or 6 yards this side of the Milan defence, and really he just had to roll it across the face of the goal. Gascoigne freed himself easily, and he just had to keep the ball on target, and it was a goal.
Really good awareness, though, shown by Bacci. Now here's Dole pulling it back, and it's Winter into the side netting there, Liam.
Yeah, half a chance. He really needed to turn that far post if he was going to score. Rossi had his near post covered. But that goal from Gascoigne was Lazio's lifeline. In the second half, Milan got very tired, gave the ball away continuously, and it was really a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before Lazio equalised, although it took them into the last 5 minutes.
Well, Lazio were at the Milan throats now. Here's Gascoigne weaving, twisting and turning. Now Signori, much the same thing.
Yeah, this is a great bit of skill from Beppe Signori. In he goes. Baresi can't make it. Not on his best foot, but he keeps the ball on target, and really was a tremendous save from Rossi.
Disappointment then for Signori on that occasion. Now here's Gascoigne floating it over.
Yeah, again Milan playing that offside inside their box is very dangerous. Depending on the linesman to give the decision, he didn't give it, and Signori had a great chance to equalise. And I thought when he missed that their chance had gone. This is the goal now. Stropper gets free on the left, something similar to the first goal. Outside of the right foot, across the 6-yard box, and Bergodi's there to supply the finish. No more than they deserved. I don't know whether this linesman will sleep well tonight. He certainly had a busy day.
Well, Milan was certainly expecting an offside decision. They didn't get one.
Yes, and it could have even been offside the second time when Bergodi knocks it in. But it's certainly a dangerous game to play. If you're not playing it right, you suffer the consequences.
So 2-2 it finishes then in the Olympic Stadium in Rome. Let's just whisk you through now the other scores from Serie A this afternoon. Ancona 1, Parma 1, the final score. Soliano on 38 minutes, then Melli just 2 minutes from time with the equaliser there for Parma. Brescia have beaten Juventus by 2-0. Raduccio on 22 minutes, and then Rossi with the second goal 20 minutes from time. So Juventus beaten again. Not the best of seasons for them, really. Cagliari 0, Sampdoria 2, Roberto Mancini with both the goals, 24 minutes, and then again on 70. Fiorentina have beaten Pescara by 2-0. They also missed a penalty. Baiano, the culprit there. Effenberg on 47 minutes, and then Batistuta with the second goal for Fiorentina early in the second half. The penalty miss was right at the end. Genoa 0, Foggia 0. It's Inter 1, Roma 1. Battistini in injury time in the first half, and then Caniggia equalising for Roma. Inter 1, Roma 1, the final score in the San Siro. Napoli have beaten Udinese by 3-0. Ferrara, Pollicano and Fonseca. Ferrara in the first half injury time, then 2 goals in the second half. Pollicano and Fonseca. Pollicano on 53, Fonseca 17 minutes from time. And finally it's Torino 1, Atalanta 1. Aguilera on 47 minutes, right at the end of the first half. And then Marchegiani, an own goal, credited to him on 64 for the equaliser for Atalanta. Final score in Turin, Torino 1, Atalanta 1. Now, the top of the table, Milan then on 41 points, Inter on 29, then Torino 27, Lazio right up there on 26, along with Atalanta. Juventus and Sampdoria locked together now on 25, followed by Parma, a further point behind. So Milan surely heading for the title once again. Leading goal scorers, Signori failed to add to his tally today. My word, he was close though. Signori and Balbo of Udinese, both on 19. Then it's Fonseca, he got one today for Napoli with 14. Roberto Baggio of Juventus on 13. Van Basten still out through injury. Papan with that cracking goal today. They're on 12 and joined by Roberto Mancini of Sampdoria with his 2 goals today. Don't forget, on Saturday, we'll have Gazza's programme, Gazzetta Football Italia, his views on the big match, 11 a.m, Channel 4 on Sunday. But for now, we'll be back, of course, on Sunday with another match. Goodbye.
Campionato di calcio italiano. Campionato di calcio italiano.
Here's news of how you can get even closer to life in Serie A. That's by joining our brand new Club Italia. Our first 3 honorary members, none other than Paul Gascoigne, David Platt and Des Walker. Become a member and here are the benefits. For starters, you'll receive a Club Italia sports bag, a Club Italia cap, edition 2 of the new Football Italia magazine, a Serie A full-colour wall chart, a members-only lapel badge, and a monthly newsletter going right behind the scenes of Italian football. In addition, members will get discounts worth over £150 from a whole range of goods, including Football Italia videos, football trainers, soccer sweaters, books, Italian holidays, plus specially designed computer software covering Italian football, facts, figures and personalities. Just call the credit card hotline on 0891 555 123 for full details and join Gazza, David Platt and Des Walker as part of the Italian in crowd.
And our second issue of the Channel 4 Football Italia magazine is out now, priced £2.95 and available from most news.
This programme is sponsored by Nike, a Champions League sponsor.
Tonight in the Champions League, Rangers take on Bruges at Ibrox, needing a win to maintain the chance of reaching the final. 2 weeks ago, Peter Hustra's goal brought Rangers a valuable point in Belgium. Tonight, he's one of a string of players out injured. We'll also see Rangers' chief rivals Marseille, the French champions, must beat CSKA Moscow to strengthen their hand. And can Milan march on? A fortnight ago, Jean-Pierre Papin came up with this stunner. Can Porto upset the form book tonight? Good evening and welcome to the European League. My guest tonight, appropriately on St Patrick's Day, the Republic of Ireland manager Jack Charlton. I don't know if you should be talking about Rangers, being a Republic of Ireland man.
It's debatable. I should be drunk about now.
Yeah, well, OK, we can maybe do that later, Jack, if we've got time. Now, this is going to be some game tonight.
Yeah, the Bruges game. It's Rangers have got to win this one. And Bruges have got to win it. It's a game that a draw will do neither team any good at all.